If you'd like to see more of our videos, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMtrading. Today's April 17, 2020, and today is Friday morning, so there's no scheduled economic event scheduled for today. But earlier this morning out of China, we had a trade balance come out, and they're in the deficit. They're in the negative for the year. Since 1992, they've not been at these levels. So this may spiral out of control into somewhat of a recession, perhaps, and even, I don't want to say depression, but maybe a great recession once again, okay? They're going to try and jumpstart the markets around the world. But looking at the Forex market, we saw it pretty much unchanged. The major pair is pretty much unchanged, really in a tight range. Going back to that as pre-February time. Now looking at the Dow Jones, we jumped over 800 points on basically news. The Gilead Sciences, which is a biotech company, has formed somewhat of a medicine for this coronavirus, and so that has added some positive light to the markets. Now looking at the commodities, gold tapers off while oil jumps on this news as well. And also the fact that Donald Trump came out yesterday giving out a detailed plan of phasing out from the lockdown. Now, lastly, looking at the stocks, it's pretty much a mixed bag. And again, Jpmorgan has been very weak and Netflix and Amazon have been very strong, and that has continued. But let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're going to start out with the Euro USD at a 4-hour chart. You can see we're pretty much unchanged. 108.39. It's about a 30 pip move from yesterday. That's really nothing to really write home about. When we look at the Euro USD or the GBP USD for that matter, very tight range. Okay, 124.70-ish level, also about 30 pips away from its highs. Now, what is interesting to note, the USD ZAR is still at these levels. Okay, there's still showing some weakness around this upper 1800 limit. So that's something to consider, as this may actually continue to correct itself in either direction. Okay, so just, you know, the spreads are a little bit higher here, but you have to be a little bit more careful in your entry points as well. Now, looking at gold, we're trading below 1700, okay, after this news came out. And if we look at oil, okay, right now taking a big tankage right now to $25, but it did bounce up to $26 a barrel from $19, okay? It does look like it's giving it up right now. Now, jumping into the Dow Jones, we're trading at 24,117. Now, you could see this massive gap up and this massive rally. Look at that. This is the rally, and this is the gap up, and we're right now trading at this 24,121. Now, this is somewhat of a resistance-ish area. Now, right, if we look at a daily chart, look at a weekly chart, you could see that a little bit more carefully that we are trading at somewhat of a resistance-ish area. That was previous support. We had it several times. Now, this is anticipated resistance-ish area right about here. So keep that in mind as we enter today's session. Now, looking at some of the stocks, now this is really what I've been mentioning until now, has continued. When we look at the Jpmorgan, it's weak, trading at $87 a share, selling off, continuing that sell-off from yesterday. However, when we look at Amazon, still very strong, 24.12, hitting all-time highs yesterday. Okay, so that is something to consider. Now, Amazon is coming up with earnings next week, so this may be corrected. Okay, if they are short of their anticipated projections for their earnings for the quarter, this may correct itself. Now, lastly, looking at Netflix, still very, very strong. I just want to highlight the fact that these are trading at intervals that are much higher than their worth. However, just be careful with, these type of trades right now, because they're still very volatile and the market can change. This is Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day and a beautiful weekend.